Yelling out. Yeah. Do you hear my howl? Do you hear me? Do you hear my howl? There be them haters in the mist. Tryna hit you with a stick. On this side, ain't no easy licks. From the projects, I was raised in the bricks. As a kid, used to be scared of hearing on my house that night. Little did I know, this my calling, this my destiny. Niggas just died, but can't let it get to me. He was a teammate, more like family. He was the bro that you be hurting me. That's why the devil always the enemy. That's the problem in my community. We don't express how we feel.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Discipline Therapy Podcast. We know y'all are fiends, and y'all know what that means. We're serving you your dose weekly of discipline therapy, where not everything is completely free, as we are on Patreon for a plethora of exclusive content for you to see. But what is free is it's judgment-free, sucker-free, censor-free, sensitive-free, and some liberty. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, popcorn, or my favorite, roll of blunt, but make sure children are in bed. Why? Because we have that vulgar sometimes, but soul food conversations all the time. Prepare your mind to be fed. Light one up, inhale life, and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast. We're here.
All right. We are here with two special guests, one returning guest, and I'm not going to tell you who they are just yet. All you have to know is that it is a special edition episode, and we're going to tag along on what episode is the that we're going to combine it with? What number?
So this is 145.
145, which is what are some non-sexual turn-ons and turn-offs?
But first, we're going to get into the guests. You know, who they are, why they're here, their journey. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, ladies and gentlemen.
We have them in the hot seat. You know me, I love asking questions. Girl, if you don't know.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, this is Cradle. He's familiar to the show. This ain't his first rodeo. Been here before, in studio, back in 2021. Was a caller. We had an episode, Do You Date for a Purpose or Marriage? You were on there. And now you're in studio. How do you like the new studio?
Yeah.
I love it. I'm just glad to. That's crazy how 3 years just went by like that.
Right.
You know? And it's full circle because, you know, when I came the first time, you know, I dropped that first hit, the Chase, and then I dropped the Nut. Man.
That did so much numbers.
Yeah.
The Chase, yeah. And also Moon Sky.
Hello.
Yes.
Moon Sky, you're a singer as well, correct?
Yes, I am.
All right. And were you on his album?
Yes. So whether it be on a track or in the background, I'm always somewhere in the mix.
Damn, all right.
Okay, great. Okay, so just Moon Sky. Just want to get into your background a little bit. Because Cradle's been on here like 3 times.
He's old news.
Just kidding. So the audience kind of just knows Cradle, like what you're doing, right? We'll talk about that as well, but they're not familiar with Moon Sky. So just brief, you know, get familiar with the audience, tell them about your background. How did you get into singing?
And how did you come up with that name? Beautiful name, Moon Sky.
Yes, so I'm a singer-songwriter, vocal arranger, composer from Jamaica, Queens, New York. I've gotten into music through church. Really, I grew up in gospel. My father laid the foundation for music. I guess I should also add in that this is my blood brother.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
it all makes sense
Cradle, that's my brother. Same mom, same dad. My parents will be married for 35 years
that's
this
beautiful.
year. So that's where music started for me. But yeah, I have you know my set of music that's out right now. If anyone wants to go and check that out, I have my debut single "Sugar," which is out, and that's more of a pop vibe. But for myself, I'm genuine. I'm just a writer, arranger, and whatever Cradle may need on his tracks, whether that be vocal composition, is what I mainly help with. And
you jump on there when you need that. What is when you were listening, you said you're a songwriter, singer, and then you said a vocal.
Yeah, vocal arranger. So
what is that?
So when you listen to tracks and you hear the background vocals, I'm the one who's arranging the movements for that and the notes that everyone's singing. So
on like the stuff. Like
it adds that embellishment to the record, so it doesn't feel as empty. So I'm the one arranging those vocals.
Did you go to school for that, or you just know how to do it?
I mean, I went to LaGuardia Performing Arts High School. From there, I went to St. John's and I did my television and film. But I've always had a background in music, so it's something that just comes natural, is being able to hear what something may need.
That's awesome. Yeah. So it's like a natural talent.
Yes, I guess a little bit.
And I know you said your parents are still together. Does your mom sing? Is she a singer too, or your dad?
Well,
who do you guys get the singing talent from?
Well, our father is a vocal beast.
Really?
I mean, like none other. I there's really no comparison.
Oh, wow.
He's literally one of the best vocalists I've ever heard in my life to this day.
Oh wow.
And I can only pray to be half as good as him, in the years to come. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So your mom know nothing?
She sings. Mouse? She's on the choir at church now. So she sings. But our dad is a vocalist. So to me, there's a difference between someone who's able to sing and someone who's a vocalist. Someone who's able to recreate music vocally.
That's wonderful.
So he's just one of those. He's one of those.
I've always wanted to sing. I could sing in the shower, but you won't catch me, grabbing the mic and singing. That's not happening.
Understood.
So that's beautiful. I love it. So you guys, is it just you two, or you have more siblings?
We have two more.
Can they sing too? What was that about? He said,
Nah, we got a 50%. So two out of four. That's
two.
Good.
So two can't, but two can. So you two.
The two that can is sitting right here.
So when you guys fight with the two that can't, do you fight singing? Like you can't curse me out, not like that. I would do everything singing if I could sing.
It's crazy because I am a twin.
You're a twin?
Yeah, fraternal.
Oh.
Did I know this from the last time you came? Did you mention this? Because I'm going to say you might have. My brain don't work that way.
No,
I don't think so.
No.
And he can't sing?
This is like an exclusive bomb or something, I guess.
We need a bomb.
But yeah, I have a twin brother. We're the youngest out of the two. Then you have Moon Sky, and then our oldest brother. So it's the four of us. But it's crazy, even though they don't do anything vocally.
They're still musically.
They're still musically inclined, and they still influenced.
Can they play like instruments?
No.
He played trombone. That's a hard instrument.
Well,
that's a very hard instrument to play.
I forgot about that.
He was like trombone.
Forgot about that joint, right? But they're so my older brother, he's a really great creative. He's the one that put us on to all the type of music that we were listening to growing up. So when Get Rich Die Trying came out, I was like 8 years old at the time.
Like,
and
you gotta listen to
like when CDs were when people was like buying CDs and waiting online, like that was him.
Oh, yeah.
So we was listening to all the music that was popping at the time, from Nelly to Ja Rule to the Black Eyed Peas, the Clips, the Neptunes, and
I'm gonna say did your older brother? He's in his 40s now.
No, mid 30s.
In his early 30s too.
Yeah. He just knew music from back in the days.
Yeah, so
because that's everything I listen to, and I'm 48.
So it pretty much helped shape our sound as far as like how we sonically put music together and how we're so well versed. So when people ask, what genre do you do? I can't really answer that.
You do everything.
Multiple genres.
Yeah, so and I mean we'll get into it later, but so we touch on a lot of things, from hip hop to R&B to our twist on drill with inspirational drill, which is positive music with gospel inspiration. With that, we got house.
That's a big twist on drill.
Yeah, it's like it's R&B, alternative rock. So our upbringing with our siblings definitely helped with that.
So did all you guys listen to always this like similar things, or was like one of them like you gotta listen to this rock sound, or you have to? Was it that you guys bring in from all different areas, or were you guys like normally listen to the same stuff?
I think people came from different areas where it's like, cool. Yo, check this out. Like, I'm like, oh, this is actually fire. Because we all have like a similar ear, to be honest. So I just think what we're doing is what they would do if they had the musical talent to do it. So we're doing it.
Well, that's nice that they're still, able to help out with with this part of the music. That's awesome. All right.
Yeah. So I've been to an event or two. You are as intense At your events, you always do that. What do you call that? It's like a
The Cradle Rock.
Cradle Rock. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always see you do that, whether it's a music video or in person. It's dope. You bring that energy, no matter if it's 5,000 people or 5. You bring that energy. I'm happy for your success. Especially when you first came here to where you are now. The Wolfpack movement is huge. Where does that stem from?
Oh man. The crazy part is 2015 I started this whole like Lone Wolf, series where I felt misunderstood, or I felt like a lot of people knew of me but didn't know me, in per se. So for me, like as I just kept growing as an artist, and when I first started, just getting a lot of doubt, getting a lot of stick to basketball, which I was like really great at. But it's like, for me, it's like they didn't even know, like while I was doing that, I was also, in the choirs. I was on choruses in school. I was always writing. And poetry was really big for me. And music played a major role. So once I got to a certain point where it's like, you know what, I wanna pursue this for real. And, no one is, great when they first start out. If you listen to the 2014, 2015 meeting, there's a major difference. But for me, I'm thankful for the constructive criticism that people gave, instead of just saying, "Oh, this is just trash." Like, stick to music. Like, no, like give me a reason why you don't like it. You know what I mean? So I'm thankful for the people that did that. Moon Sky was definitely one of them. My siblings was definitely them. They was not gonna lie to me.
They sure aren't.
So they kept it a buck, and it helped, me push through. So as my sound continued to get better, along with my writing and everything else, and the production and meeting the right people, we started to really form a Wolfpack. I'm like, I'm not a lone wolf no more. Like, I really got people that rock with me. I got people that really support me, that love what I'm doing. And I don't think it's a coincidence that once I started putting more of God in my music, that's when that started to take place. So people that weren't like even family members, they talked to me like, hey, like when you was going through certain things, because I had different phases of my music, throughout time. There was times where, I was talking about depression or anxiety or, stress. Like people can tell like that wasn't my true sound, but I had to go through these different stages to get where I'm at now. And people peeped that. It was like, yo, like, now you was going through something during that time. I know that's not really you. Like, I don't picture you putting another album out like that. And I haven't, So for me, it's just to continue and to grow. And now we're at a point where the Wolfpack community is bigger than the record. It's a lifestyle that we embody. And, people follow us, people love us, people show love. And, at this point, I'm just thankful for the team that we do have right now, and we're continuing to grow.
Cool. So you are religious, right? You mentioned God, the Catfish film. I liked it. You both are religious, Moon Sky and Cradle. Moon Sky, you directed it?
No, I have nothing to do with the film of Catfish.
Okay.
He's like, no.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I did.
What did you think of it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, but I don't want to ever speak down upon the work that my brother puts into. So I mean, he's an amazing actor, and he'll always be that. So whatever he brings to the table is going to be great. I just didn't necessarily agree with the script. But he's an amazing actor, so whatever he's in is going to be great, just because of the type of person that he is, and the background and skills that he brings to the table. So I'll let him speak more.
That is something I wanted to add for the audience. Cradle is an amazing actor. With the film, I saw the film. I love the film. So if you're religious, you have certain practices, principles, morals, values. Certain parts of the film I didn't agree with, but I know it's entertainment and stuff of that nature. I'm different. I don't expect everybody to think like me. Was it difficult or hard? I don't want to give it away. Ladies and gentlemen, Catfish. It's one word. Catfish on Tubi. Go check it out. It's dope. 51 minutes, but it's fire. So I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of parts that I didn't enjoy. Especially as a black man, I didn't like that it was portrayed. But like I said, I'm different. I want to know, being that you are principles, you're religious, God, was it easy or hard? Because I don't want to give it away. I want people to tune in. Was it easy or hard to play on screen what I'm going to assume you aren't in real life?
What the character was?
Because the character was immoral.
Right. For me, it was definitely not easy at all. You know, when you're trying to bring someone's story to life, and the crazy part how it went was originally I wasn't even the main character. I didn't have a lead role at first. When I did the audition, I was I don't want to give too much away, but I was a different role, a lesser role.
Okay.
And I remember, literally after we sat on the script for a few weeks, we were having our first table reading through Zoom, and literally 5 minutes before the Zoom call, they called me and said, "Hey, like the lead role like backed out," and I knew at that moment that they already had their locations locked in. They already had everything at play, so I knew that they needed someone in-house to step in and fulfill that role. So for me, it was like, you know what, I can use this as an opportunity to showcase what I'm really capable of. And this was my first feature film.
Okay.
So I done short films. I acted in my own music videos. And we'll get into my musical film Wolfpack and doing that. But for me, it was like stepping in and like helping out type of thing.
Okay.
So when it came to like actually like the shooting of everything, it's definitely a different space that I had to tap into. That it definitely was not easy. Like for me, it's like looking back at it, and I feel like it didn't really hit me until like seeing it myself on the screen, and then like, all right, like there's certain things that moving forward, that I won't take part in, or I'm like, hey, you know what? How about we do it this way? I'm comfortable doing it this way, type of thing. So that's how I'm going to be moving forward.
That's why I wanted to ask you, but I didn't want to cut you off. I wanted to let you finish. Did you have certain input, but you said no? Like, did you have certain people like, yo, can we do it this way? I don't feel comfortable doing this. Can we do it this way?
I think it's
or you just
a learning.
rocking?
Yeah, I think it's like a learning experience, because I feel like if I feel like we would have figured it out. But at the time, I would take accountability. It is what I don't run from nothing. So it's like for me, I just know moving forward, like there's certain things out that I'm willing to do, and there's certain things like, nah, I'm not.
It was dope.
Yeah.
It was dope, bro.
Like
I'm looking at it like I know you. Well, I don't want to say I know you 100%, but I know how you were outside. So it's like also was comical. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like most of the time in the virtual world, you play what you aren't. Like I don't want to give it away, but certain things you're doing with the girls on screen, I didn't agree with, and I know you don't agree with that off camera.
Right.
So that's why I was asking you, like, how hard or how easy was it to get into that character, bring that character to life? It was dope. Me personally, like, I want to see black men play different roles. But that's just me. I just wanted to get your perspective on it. I'm not attacking you, bro. Like, we cool. You know what I'm saying? The film is dope. Like, go watch it, ladies and gentlemen. Catfish is one word.
How did you hear about the movie? Like, because you said that you auditioned for it.
So actually, my friend Ep.145, who's the director of my musical film, Wolfpack, he sent me the casting call for it. He sends me a bunch of casting calls, and it's just on me if I'm gonna, submit or not. So for them, I did like a self-tape, and everything happened from there.
Okay. And
Cool.
now, who did you fashion the character? Because you went from when you said you weren't a main character, I was like, really? Because you was all over that movie. It was all about you.
Yeah,
so who did
switched up.
Yeah. Who did you fashion the like? Who did you say? All right, let me try to tap into like. Where did you pull that from?
Honestly, I would say Because there's always like some grimy dude like in them Tyler Perry movies. So it's always some black dude that's wilding, like, you know, when it comes to like you know, some of his films. So like, you know, this men that ain't ish, you know, type of thing. So just seeing that on the screen and like portraying that and things like that. So that's the direction I was like, all right, let me just, you know, grab from there. But also at the same time, like the only way I was able to get through those scenes was being, you know, it's funny as for me, like trying to make it's not a situation you want to make light of, but that's what helped
to
me
try to get you
it,
through it.
You
right.
know, like I can't be too serious. So that's why people, like, it's tough, you know, it could be triggering, but at the same time, like people had their moments where they're like really laughing.
I was definitely laughing at the part where you went, where you howled. I was like, it's the Wolfpack. He's bringing it in there.
Yes. Let's get into the music now. Okay, so Wolfpack, the music video is out. I know you're very proud of that. Talk about that.
Yeah, you know, I'm big on terminology, so you know, musical film, right there, musical film. You know, oh man, like yeah, that's my baby, like that's my child, you know, type of thing. Because when I wrote the record, I wrote a musical film in mind when I wrote it.
Oh wow!
So I knew that this was going to take a lot of time, you know, to put together. So when I wrote it, in the original record, you know, that's out with Young Devin and Tramula, I wanted to, with so much time that passed by, I was like, you know what? When it comes to the film of it, let's do a different version so it can give it, even though it was already still trending. I said, let's give it a new life.
Like a remake?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, so for me, it was like, you know what? Let me actually make this record, you know, let me make it like Queens based. So that's when I reached out to my sister. I was like, yo, I need you to hop on this.
I was about to ask that.
She was like, well, you want me to hop on this? So I know that threw her off, but we figured it out. And, you know, we threw Deva on it, you know, Queens rapper from Far Rockaway. And we pretty much all met through, you know, just touring as indie artists and, you know, vibing out with one another. So everything pretty much came together pretty smoothly. And not only did we remix the record as far as throwing new features on it, but we remixed the choir, you know, like this additional parts of the choir in there where I just made some phone calls like, hey, we need you to come back in. We got some new stuff that we want to add, and people was excited to do it. And
that's awesome.
And people really loved the original record, but people love this remix, and they were like, nah, like you found a way to bring the energy even higher up. So
do you think that making a remix is more difficult than writing for the original song?
Not this one.
But generally?
It really depends, because for me, I let God talk to me. You know what I mean? So I feel like I got that message in my head, like, nah, like this isn't done. Like, and it, honestly, to be real, the original record, I feel like the message wasn't 100% there initially, you know, and I'm appreciative of the, you know, the professionalism in the verses that they gave on it for the original record, but it wasn't 100% on cue on the type of time that I wanted it on. So when it came to the remix, I'm like, nah, I want this to be more gospel. I want this to be more inspirational, more of a testimony. Like I don't care for. We're not talking about women. We're not talking about cars, drugs. We talking about testimonies. What got you to where you are now? You know, like talk about your difficult situations. That's what people want to hear. They want to know your story.
Right.
You know, so that was what I was looking for when it came to putting together the remix. You know, and it worked out perfectly fine. But I knew the moment I had to do a remix was when we played it in the club. I was in New Jersey, and they played the record, and everyone was like bumping to it. But in my world, I'm listening. I'm like, nah, this feels empty. Like this feels a little empty to me, and that's when I just started getting these ideas on what to add to it.
Nice. Now he said that when he asked you to come on, it threw you off. Why it threw you off?
So because I just wasn't expecting him to ask me to be on it. I just thought, okay, remix is gonna be two other rappers, you know, on it. I'm like, that's just not. it wasn't the typical song that I would be on. So when he approached me with the idea, it was just like, okay, how can I hear myself on this record? Because I'm always in the front. Anytime we're at the shows together, I'm in the front. Going through all the lyrics with them and everything. Getting the crowd hyped. And what? And what? So
that must be so much fun. To be able to go on stage and have your family there.
Yeah, anytime awesome. he was doing this song, I was just right in front and center, bulldozing through the crowd to get to the front. But when I heard it, I was just like, wow, okay, how can I be on the record and still be authentic to who I am as an artist, not trying to sound like just another rapper on a now, drill type rap? Beat. So I have on my songs, but it's just a bit different with this type of wordplay and flow. Right. On this type of style beat, but we got it together. And just thinking about the message you want to convey, he was like, "Yo, talk about your testimony, tell him." I'm like, okay, but it's different when you got a melody to it,
Right. Yeah, you got to try to figure. It's like a puzzle.
Right. So just putting all the pieces together, and it came together, and then I'm just like, okay, I'll be the that woman on the track, and I'll give it that little that flavor that I could give it, and it ended up working out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, big flavor, not the little. Wow. But it worked out. I'm just glad that he thought enough to be like, yo, sis.
So after that day, that's it. You've been just helping him and jumping on whatever track he needs.
I mean, even before Wolfpack, we've always done music together. It's just this is the biggest record that we've had out where I'm actually on it with him as well.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's been nothing short of a blessing to be on.
Does he jump on your albums?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Keep turning.
He's like, yeah, just yeah, absolutely. Right. So it's just like we're working together as a team. This is my partner right here. So like blood and everything. So we're That's here. Awesome. So I know anything I need, I can look to my brother for that. So
that's great, because sometimes when like business, especially with family members, it could get messy. Like a show prior, I was telling Suey at the premiere, I was like, years ago when I was a manager, my mom asked me to hire her. And I told her I would never, because then I would have to fire you because you're not on time anywhere. So sometimes like that could get messy, because sometimes coming in, you might think, oh, he's my brother. Moonsky might think, hypothetically, oh, he's going to give me special treatment. Oh, she's my sister. Cradle thinks, Moonsky, she's going to give me special treatment. So that's cool.
It might happen like that. She might give him special treatment because
I mean, of course, he's cool. This is my day one. Well, I'm his day one because I was. But yeah, it's always. I feel like it's also that the relationship you have like as siblings growing up. Like it was never that type of vibe with any of our siblings. It's there's always good sportsmanship and competitive behavior between siblings, but there's never been like a rivalry. Like I feel like I'm competing with you for like attention or anything. It's just like I want to see you do well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So can we jump back to the movie real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna go back and forth. Movie music. I know with what you just said before, it took you had to find how you're gonna play these roles. When you premiered it, I guess that's the right word, like to your family, were you like, okay, listen, there might be a couple of scenes here, I just want to prepare you? Or were you like, I'm just going to let it rock and see what happens? And how about you? I'm going to ask, and I got a question for you.
I mean, it's definitely not a film that that's like in the forefront for me at the moment. Obviously that's Wolfpack, because that's what that's truly me, who I am. And my parents asked, they wanted to see the film, but I was like, nah.
Oh, you didn't show it to them?
I was like, but they asked, they was like, yo, we want to see the film. I was like, nah, I don't think y'all should watch it, and they respect, like, I just told them what it was. I was just like, hey, there was some things, that it's just, nah. So yeah, there's some people that a lot of people have watched it. It's low key going viral right now, where people really noticing
Yeah.
me in real life. To the point where someone came up to me, a couple people came up to me and called me my character's name.
That's crazy. How did that feel?
It was mind blowing,
Right?
So yeah. But
At least, as long as a girl didn't come up to you and slap you, if I call you by that name, you're good.
Yeah, sometimes.
That's how you know you're excellent actor. If they hate you for what you're acting about.
yeah, they're gonna really hate me until they like, no, here's Wolfpack. This is who I really am, and then they're gonna love me again.
Yeah.
But even with music, like we be going to events and people be like, nah, like yo, you look familiar, or I know I seen you around. Like it literally happened last night.
Yeah.
It was like, so it's like people are really noticing me. So when because I be throwing ads on Instagram, on social media like crazy, and I'm outside too, as much as I can be, and yeah, it's just been a perfect balance with everything. But when it comes to the movie, like there's certain people I like, hey, check it out, whatever. But to be honest with you, a lot of people just been seeing it organically, like without me having to tell them. Like people from all walks of life that I met been hitting me up. People from high school, people from different states, different events I met them at, like just been hitting me up like, hey, yo, I seen you in this movie. People sending me screenshots of that.
crazy.
So between the film and Catfish
music.
and Wolfpack musical film, I've just been getting a lot of
Attention.
a lot of credit, a lot of attention. So
That's awesome.
That's what's up.
So, do you feel like you think you're gonna do another movie?
no, absolutely. I especially after that, I gotta do a good role now.
You gotta redeem yourself.
I gotta be a good man in the next one. So for them to get on, I gotta now. For me now, I feel like I gotta do 10 movies now, just so.
To kind of
Yeah.
clear your conscience.
Are
I
you getting?
enjoyed it. I mean,
That's what I was
I
about
could see
to
it
say.
for what it is. It's a film. It's you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You played a great role. I thought it was funny. You did. I was like, look at him. Oh my god. I thought it was great. So wait, let me ask you. Since you didn't show your parents,
Yeah.
did you show your siblings, or did they see it on their
just-
own?
They just, they saw it on their own.
Oh, they did. Look at her face. Did you go up to him and be like, "What are you doing?"
I mean, I hit him up. He already knew what it was.
Cause I kind of warned them before.
Oh, you
too,
did warn
so
them.
it's like,
Okay,
yeah.
that's fair. I thought it was great, personally. Oh,
Yeah.
he's giving her the brother sister look.
I'm like, what warning did I give?
I was
for
like,
it?
it is triggering.
Any other like pushback you got like outside of your siblings and family?
Yeah, some people
Really?
like thought it wasn't like a good look. But for the most part, people just take it as what it is. Like it's a movie.
Yeah.
It's not him. So
Yeah.
people, for the most part, they enjoyed it. So it's been getting a lot more great feedback than I anticipated.
Was the pushback from people you know?
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Because as you know them, met them a couple times, whatever, several times, are in their circle, they know you outside of that.
Right.
They know what you stand for. Somebody who doesn't know you, like they're looking at it oh, yo, it was amazing. I just really wanted to know how you felt about it. That's it. If you good with it, you good with it.
Yeah, I mean, I
Not
sleep
for
at
nothing,
night.
but I will be proud of it because that's a role, and you killed it. And not only that, but that role was intended for someone else who backed out, and you stepped up and you did an awesome job. And especially with people who have met you 1, 2, 3 times or have known you all their lives, just like Discipline said, they know you for one way, and then to see you act a different way is like, wow, he really got some skills going on there, not just singing. So I would be proud of. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like at first, I'm not gonna lie. Like when it first came out, I made a couple posts about it on my story. And Moon Sky can, is my witness. I was not posting anything about it for probably 2 weeks. Within those 2 weeks, that's when everybody was hitting me up. I'm talking from texting, from Instagram, from Snapchat. I'm seeing you here, and then I realized I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna run from this.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. So for me, it was like, you know what? How can I flip this and make this turn this into some type of great fortune?
Positive, yeah.
Yeah, so
Silver lining.
yeah. So for me, it was like, you know what? I put together. I got some editing skills as well. So I put together a reel of it, and I was like, let me
Nice.
just put this together, start shipping it out, and see what other roles I can land, from this situation. And just build on my catalog, so they like, all right, they can see like different ranges of what I'm capable of.
Okay.
So yeah.
So we're gonna do this one, and then we're gonna get into the subtopic. Moon, Sky, and Cradle, one at a time. Cradle, you go first. Goals. What's the next project? Goals. Where do you want to be? I know you still don't have children, right?
No.
Still unmarried, right?
Correct.
And you want those two things or one of those things?
Both.
Okay, so goals, right? And it doesn't matter what goals. You could stay within the music. It could stay within acting. It could be outside of it. What does Cradle want to do? What's going to be Cradle's legacy when it's all said and done?
When it's all said and done, regardless of what I'm doing, it would be that I was shining light, spreading positivity, inspiration, and influencing not only the youth but the world. At the end of the day, so whether that's through music, film, sports, because I want to give back to my as many communities as possible, and especially when it comes to basketball. Because without basketball, I don't know where I would be at. So yeah, between those three spectrums, just giving back and giving it everything my all. And yeah,
that's what's up. Moon, Sky.
Yeah, so same, single, no children, no cheering yet, but I am engaged, so I will be getting married. Thank you. This November. So
he's religious too.
Yes, I mean we both believe. So to me it's not so much as like your yes, I want you to be a follower of Christ. But at the same time, it's about your relationship. So it's not necessarily about how many services you attend, because there's people who go to service religiously and they're still not followers of Christ. Like, what are you actually doing with your life? So that's more so with me. It's your relationship with God. Like, when it all comes down, have you really sought him out for yourself? Have you truly accepted him into your life, and how does that play out? So for me, what I want to see in the future is how many people I can reach through music with that message. So my next project will be for this year. But in the long run, it's exactly that. Like, how many lives can I touch with my story through my music? How many people just come up to us after shows and like you can tell they weren't there for a word, but they heard one. And it's That's just how many lights can you shine in these dark places? Like, so that's for me at the end of the day. If I changed one life, if I touched one life, I did what I was supposed to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I agree with that. So wait, you're gonna get married soon, or you just got engaged?
So I got engaged last year, and the wedding is set for November 9th this year.
How nice!
Yes.
I want lots of pictures.
Oh yes, yes. We gonna take lots of them photos. Yes.
All right. So we're gonna get into a little topic, real brief. Couple questions. Go through a panel. What subjectively for you are non-sexual turn-ons and turn-offs? So you could take your time. We'll start with Sue, Moon, Sky, Cradle, and with me. So first, your non-sexual turn-ons and your turn-offs.
Okay.
So the turn-ons probably could be toxic too. Okay. Ain't nobody judging you.
Non-sexual, you said, though.
Yeah.
Right?
So they're like intangible things.
All right. Non-sexual turn-ons. I think one of them is how that person treats others. How they treat their family members, a bum on the street, the waiter, whoever. And if they treat them with respect and kindness, I think that is a turn on for me.
Okay. Turn off.
A turn off, I think.
Opposite.
Probably the opposite. That, and I think maybe not so much that, but how they carry themselves. Like, if they're super cocky, although that can be a turn on, but it depends on how they do it. Like, if they just expect shit to be done, that to me is a turn off.
Okay.
I agree.
And if they litter.
Oh.
Turn off.
Yeah, like I can't. Oh, man. like the spitting on the sidewalk and stuff. And but yeah, it's always in the way that one carries themselves. Like I don't like the really loud and boisterous type of guys who call attention to themselves. Like but for me, so I guess we'll start with turn off or turn. Well, I'll just follow up with the turn off then, since I already started on that. But for me, arrogance. Arrogance is really it's a strong turn off. Also, dudes that just aren't kind. Like it takes nothing to be kind to someone else. Like if you're a 6'4" guy, and like a guy who's like 5'2" bumped you, and you could beat his behind, and you're there yelling at him. Like it's okay. It takes nothing to be like, no, you're good. I agree. That type of attitude. Turn ons would just be the opposite. You being kind. You respecting. The women in your life. Your family. Like what are your connections with your family like? Yeah. So yeah, those are ones for me.
Okay.
Okay. So for me, I would say turn-ons is how supportive a woman is, understanding, does she listen? And I feel like that's major because even in general conversation, like people know for me, like, oh, Cradle's a great listener. I'm like, yeah, there's a reason I got 2 ears and one mouth. So I feel like that's really key for me. What else? I'll just leave it like that for now. For turn-offs, I don't know, this instantly popped in my head, but I don't like someone who smokes. Like
anything?
Like that.
I was about to say that.
Like weed, cigarettes?
Cigarettes is definitely a dub. Like, that's a dub. That's a dub.
Even if it's like the little cartridges joint thing?
Vaping?
Yeah, it's dub. It's going to turn into something else.
Okay. No weed too.
Yeah, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Now,
so you don't smoke?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Oh, so is that it? Or there's more?
Anything else, Cradle?
Man, it's a long list, but I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that for now.
Those are the top 2.
Yeah, that's like the top for me. But like women with some nice feet, nice toes, as well.
Well, non-sexual, non-physical.
I know. Okay, I'm sorry, but so yeah, for the most part, for the most part, yeah. Cigarettes, because then like for me that's cleanliness, right? So it's like that stuff can get in your hair, gets in your clothes, so that affects the hygiene. I feel like for me, not saying you smoke weed, you dirty. Like I'm not saying that. But I'm just
it leaves a certain aroma that doesn't
throwing things at the screen right now. I'm not dirty.
Nah. So that's just me.
Yeah, it leaves a certain aroma that doesn't sit well with you.
Right.
Pretty much. So I have a long list too for both, but I can categorize it into one thing. So non-sexual turn off for a woman. So all of it can be in one thing: attitude. Attitude. And then for the also turn off, not being cooperative, and that comes down with attitude. I'll piggyback off you, Cradle, not listening, because that comes down with cooperation as well. Pretty much submission. When a woman is submissive, she's gonna embody all these things, like be feminine, listen, this, supportive, and stuff of that nature. Turn offs, same thing, attitude. So if she's like highly masculine, boisterous, boasting, arrogant, bringing feminism, going against tradition, she's modern, the way she posts, the way she treats people, the waiter, the homeless guy on the street, like you don't know his circumstance, but you're like degrading, how's he get a job? He's so dirty. Like stuff like that. It's like you're not courteous. So it comes to attitude for both, but there's different spectrums.
I didn't. Okay, let's try it again. I don't think you said what turn-ons. I thought I heard turn-offs twice.
Really?
I don't know. That's
So turn-ons would be attitude. So like if she's cooperative, If she's supportive, listens, pretty much submissive. Like a woman doesn't have to be like a 12 to me. You know, she could be a 12 and have a nasty personality, and now she's a 6. She's ugly. Because I'm looking more at soul, right? I know this is like temporary, especially our body is borrowed time. You know, the soul lasts forever. If she's like a 8 out of 10, if she's a 7, but her personality is a 12, she's beautiful in all ways. You know, so it's more so the turn on is how she acts, her character, her personality. Is she courteous? Is she cooperative? Is she supportive? You know, is she patient? Those are feminine energy traits. You know, so those are things. And then the opposite would be turn offs.
All right. I have some other questions too about this. So this is going to be for me and Moon Sky because we are the women here. What are some non-physical things you need a man to feel secure in your femininity? And there's another follow-up question to that. What are some non-physical things that you need from a man to feel secure in your femininity?
That's an excellent question because it's harder with me being in the industry. It's trust. That's one of the things that I need to feel secure. Like I'm able to come to you with anything. And that's what I have. That's, you know, it's also the, I got to talk to my man. Like,
okay, go ahead. Talk about him. Talk about him.
He is absolutely amazing. And I'm grateful for God placing him in my life, especially at the time that he did, because what I came out of before was just not good. It just, you know, it's just, you know, some things are just, you know, it could be, I don't really like using the word because I feel like it's a filler word at this point, toxic. But when you're with someone who's unsupportive in a lot of things in your life, especially as being someone who's a part of the industry, that's not something that's good.
Yeah.
Like if you know, if I'm going out to this show and I'm clearly with my brother, I'm with somebody else and I don't drink, I don't smoke, I'm not doing all these things, you know, for me to get the constant questions, you have insecurities within yourself that need to be addressed. So for me to feel, to have that security is one, he's a protector. So I know when I go out to shows and he's with me, I already demanded a certain type of respect when I'm out because of the way I carry myself. But when he's with me, it brings it to a whole nother level. Like I feel comfortable. Like I know I'm good, even when I'm with my brother. But you know, when he's there, there's a certain level of respect. Like people speak to him first, and then they come up to me. Hey, you did a great job tonight. You know, and it doesn't have to be that presence where, you know, oh, this my woman. Like he lets me be.
Right.
He lets me be, but I just know that protection is there. And then he has those provider instincts. Like I know he's going to be an amazing husband, and that's why I said yes. I'll meet you there at the altar. Yes, and I know he's going to be an amazing father. So those things allow me to be like, it's not overbearing. I don't have to speak over him. We're able to communicate effectively without coming to each other's necks about things, and that's something different than the last time, you know. So it allows me to bask in that feminine energy. Like, what do you need? Like, how can I help you? Like when you're sick, like I got you. You know.
Good. I'm happy that you brought that up because that is the other question. What do you think are non-sexual things a man needs to feel secure in his masculinity, to provide, to lead, to build, to create with a woman?
One more time. Let's.
Gotta go slow.
Yeah.
What do you think are some non-sexual things a man needs to feel secure in his masculinity, to provide, to lead, to build, or create with a woman?
I think someone that's willing to be his neck. Like he's the head. Like for me, I already knew like when because I dated with intention. Like, and that's I think what was a key for both of us. We knew that we wanted
Something,
a lifetime partner. So I went in with the intention of I need someone who's gonna lead my household. So he's the head, I'm the neck. We still have these discussions, and but at the end of the day, like I have to be like, okay, I know God put him in my life, so he'll be the one to make those ultimate decisions, and I have to be able to trust him to do that, to give him the space to do that,
right?
So he can hone in his masculinity, because at the end of the day, I that's not my role.
Right.
It's just not my role. So I think it also comes to a point of what your understanding is within that relationship between those two individuals. For us, is these are your roles and these are mine. Like I'm not, like I'm there for your support. I'm your support. So that at the end of the day, if I give him room, like to be his self. I mean, I think that wrong. Yeah, I give you the space. When he gets home, how was your day? Like I'm right there, like I know you work like 10, 12 hours, like like I'm working too, but just being there, like that's literally my best friend, and I'm there to support him in any which way that he needs me.
Cradle, what is it gonna take for a woman to, the same question, for you to feel in your masculine, to lead, to provide? What's gonna make you secure?
Well, thankfully I'm secure in myself.
But when people get in relationships, right, that's when triggers occur. So people could think that they're healed, right? They're not until they get into a relationship with someone else. So you can be secure by yourself. There are certain things she could make or do. God, okay, let's give an example. You meet a girl, and I know you don't look for these girls, but we're just trying to make people understand. She posts her booty online. That's going to make not in your masculine, because you don't think you could be masculine there. Because it's like, why is she doing that? It's not a control aspect, but she knows what type of man you are. You have certain principles, right? So if she's doing what most modern chicks are doing today, feminists, that they misconstrue that as empowerment, right? Sexually objectifying themselves, but they misconstrue that as empowerment. That's gonna make even the strongest man feel insecure, just to give an example. So what would a woman have to bring to the table to make you feel secure in your masculinity?
Like how you worded that. No, that was really nice.
Right?
So what would a woman have to bring? So one, I feel like the biggest thing that for us men is the respect, value. I feel above any, like before anything is the respect, right? Like respect me as your man, and trust me, especially with obviously both in the industry. So it's like I know I have a certain like a large woman fan base. When it comes to that, I need you to after the respect, trust me that I have our best interest at heart. That I'm going to give you that reassurance that, hey, no, this is for us. I got to get to this bag. I can't just be women come up to me, I can't do it. I can't be mushing people. I can't do that.
It's part of the territory.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's a certain, respect value. So for me, like knowing like, all right, the boundaries and stuff, I'm not going to have a woman all over my arm, like hugging me, and doing certain things. So again, even respect on my end, respecting her, you know what I'm saying? Making sure like keeping my boundary, or knowing my boundaries when it comes to dealing with, certain women, and being like, hey, how would I feel if she was an artist and, a dude all on her face, in her space and everything. So we're in the shoe on the other foot as well. And also understanding. I feel like understanding is very huge, and I feel like understanding mixed with communication as well. So I feel like even before we get to understand, you gotta get to communication. Like, all right, this is what I do. You know what you're getting into. I'm an entertainer. I'm an actor. I'm this. I'm that. That people's gonna recognize me when we go out, right? So the communication, knowing like, you know what, like, okay, he's gonna actually the crazy part, something similar happened yesterday where I was meeting a friend, and before she got there, because I got there like 10 minutes before she did.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just at the bar just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
And random woman just comes up to me, shoots her shot. You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, you have to, and she trusts me like, all right, like that's, I'm not going to think nothing of it. I trust that his intentions is, you know, he's not going to really entertain that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So when it comes to that, and I feel like, again, that's also security as well. So for me, I don't have to, and if I see my woman outside, let's say I go to the bathroom or something, right? And I see, you know, a dude pull up or whatever. I might sit back and watch a little bit, you know what I mean? Just to see how, like, for me, it's just like, I don't have to be like, hey, man, that's my woman. Like, I shouldn't have to do that. I should not have to do that, you know? Because there's going to be moments, a lot of moments, especially the way I'm working and moving and touring, and a lot of touring that we plan on doing, there's going to be moments I'm not around.
Mm-hmm.
So if I know I can trust you when I'm not around, that's the key for me. So, you know, so a mixture of security, then obviously understanding and knowing that the business that I do, but understanding that, you know, that I'm not going to do you dirty, and I'm going to give you that reassurance that it's us against the world. Word.
Nice.
Can I just add in? I want to chime in. Like, I like what you just said, because also when you're in a relationship, you're also a representation of that other person. So when you go out, you know, you're really representing who that.
Have you watched some of the shows? 'Cause I've always said that. I'm glad she said that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad she said that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No. That was literally just it. Like, I'm respecting myself, but I'm also respecting who I have. Like, it's just you set those boundaries, and people respect it.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Respect it. Yeah, respect and trust is mutual. Just like Cradle, I'll agree with that. Same thing, or I would do the same thing. Coming out of the bathroom, perhaps you just watch, see what she's gonna do. See what she's gonna do, because the ball is in her court. It's power, right? Women are viewed as prey, and that term can be a trigger to people, but most women aren't walking up to guys. Women are accepting. So why is he there so long? What's that conversation like? You see? So it's like, those are certain tests for me to just be like, okay, I know that either I'm going to continue or not. You know what I'm saying? But like you were saying, there's no reason for you to just rah, 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 and this and that. Like, that's kind of like where is your self-respect? Where is your dignity? If you really have to hold somebody in shackles against their will, there's no enjoyment in that. Like, true power is when somebody can come to you without shackles, you know, and that's what it comes down to. But I agree with that.
I have another question, but I'm going to start with the guys, and then we'll work our way this way. What are some things that would make a woman leave a good man? I wish I could take credits for these questions, but I can't.
Guess go first. Cradle, you go first. I'll just...
That's nice. I'm going to go first.
I have a lot to say, but let him go first.
Oh, man. What would make a woman leave a good man? I mean, you got them gold diggers. I'm going to just get that out the way first.
Yes, hallelujah.
For finance, you know, reasons. Yeah, I feel like that's I feel like that one is huge, because you have a lot of good men out there, right? And working hard, you know, not at the end of the day, I feel like some women sometimes can have a delusion. And let me go further into that. So my thing is, right, how many men really out there are making millions and trillions of dollars? That's like the 1%. But you want 90 or 95% of women want that. Like, it's not too many of that out there. You know, so and that's what's considered a high value man, right? So but then let's look in the mirror, right? Are you a high value woman?
Exactly.
Well, that's the myth too. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah. So it's like, so I feel like finances, that's a big one, as well. But even I'm trying to think even from like the man side, you know, maybe when it comes to, you know, different spectrums of finances, right? Because he can be a good man, mean well, but maybe she's not even asking him to be a millionaire. Maybe she's not asking him to be, you know, six figures or close to that. But damn, you look like you can't even provide for yourself. How you gonna provide for me? So like, I feel like that's two different spectrum of it, where someone could leave someone for finance reasons, because maybe she's, and I've seen it all the time too, where the woman is holding this man down, and it's like, all right, like after a while, it's like, yo,
Yeah, when are you gonna play a part?
yeah, you know, type of thing. So I feel like that's the two different, you know, spectrums when it comes to like the finance role. You know, when it comes to that, or I mean, we live in an age now where the norm now is you got stepdads, you got, you know, stepmoms, people mix and matching, and you know, things of that sort. So maybe it's a situation where he's a really great man, but maybe she thought she was ready to take on them 3 kids or them 2 kids that he already had, and maybe she was like, you know what, I was in over my head, like I don't think I can do that. Maybe she learned like, you know what, yeah, nah, I don't think I could. Maybe I thought I wanted kids, now I don't even want kids anymore, you know, type of thing. Or maybe it can be a situation where she's like, you know what, I'd rather build something from scratch. I'd rather start my own Wolfpack. You know what I mean? Start my own Wolfpack. And that's honestly, personally, that's how I feel. Like, for me, it's like, I would meet a beautiful woman and we just, you know, we hitting it off and it's good vibes. And then, like, yeah, you know, she got like a 9-year-old kid, and that's a turn off for me.
I'm happy that you said that, because I have a question like that. I know, I'm just saying.
You know, that's a turn off for me. And she can be, I guess it's kind of flipped, right? She can be a great woman, you know, but it's like, for me, it's, I'd rather go through certain experiences together, you know, as a couple where we're learning together, you know, type of thing. And, you know, I want to start my own legacy, you know, at the end of the day. Like, let's not make, I think we're starting to make things that aren't the norm.
Yeah.
And let's keep it a stack. You know, I don't mean to go National Geographic on y'all, but I love animals. Wolf is my spirit animal. But if you know your history as far as when it comes to lions, they kill those cubs. They're like, nah, they get them out of here. Like, nah, I'm starting my bloodline.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
type of say, not to be graphic about it, but let's just to the extent to let you know, just like, yo, like, it's not a norm.
He's not
you know,
saying go
thing.
kill the
No.
stepkids. He ain't saying that. He ain't saying that.
I'm just saying, it's just
religious
the fact that, you know, I feel like we need to get back to traditional ways as much as we can. And not saying, you know, things happen, you know, at the end of the day, but for me personally, my preference would be to, you know, start from scratch.
Okay.
I'm gonna say things y'all probably not gonna expect. Brain damage.
Oh,
That could be a reason.
Yeah. So, them being sick?
Help.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mentally ill.
That's awful.
It could be, I'll go to the family. I'll piggyback off Cradle. Her father wasn't present. So she has subconsciously, she has resentment towards all men. You know, no matter what she says. You know what I'm saying? She might not even realize it, right? Because it's subconscious. So that can be a situation. It could be she's jaded. She just believes she got a couple of guys that did her dirty, and now she generalizes. She meets a good man like Cradle, and she automatically starts to assume. She's automatically throwing, insecurities. She's getting insecure. She doesn't believe the things he's saying, to the point where he's getting tired of it, and he's out of here. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, wait, that was the man you were praying for. You were asking God that the other day, on your knees praying. Let me get a good man who's compassionate, who's patient, and all these things. It was in his masculine, because only a masculine man has God in him. So, you know, those could be situations that we're not looking at. Mental health is imperative.
Oh, yeah.
This is what we don't talk about often, men and women. So if you're not mentally healthy, you will like self-sabotage.
Yeah, that's a big burden for both.
What would cause her to do that? To leave a good man? Self-sabotage. You know, so
Wait, I want to hear Moon Sky.
Well, I just wanted to add to
okay.
discipline
All right,
real
my bad.
quick because it made me think. Because I think this happens a lot too, where you have a good man that's left because she want this bad guy. She want this
the bad boy.
the excitement. It's an adventure. Like it's going to be an adventure, all right.
I need to know why she's laughing at this.
Because I was just about to say that. It's not exciting.
And it's like, okay, you're going to go for the excitement knowing that he's not the right dude for you, but you want, this excitement or whatever that is. And now you got 2 or 3 kids and he's not providing, he's not doing the things he needs to do. And it took you to that long to figure it out. Like, nah. Like,
well, every woman wants excitement. It's just depending on where their mindset is, that it becomes subjective.
Yeah.
So, for example, the woman who's mentally ill, who's like a girl back in the day, she could just be thinking, this guy's like, he's also like immorally wrong, right? He ain't got nothing to lose. He's baby. Let's do some Bonnie and Clyde shit. Let's rob a bank. And she's just following. Oh, that's exciting. Let's do that. As she gets older, no.
What are you talking about?
What happened if we get caught? I ain't just riding. Where are we going? You know what I'm saying? So she still wants excitement. Maybe excitement for her is, movie night.
Yeah.
Maybe excitement for her is, I don't know, like hiking. Now, maybe excitement for her is like, let's read a book together. You understand what I'm saying? So they still want excitement. It's just it changes. Depending on their mindset.
And I mean, shoot, no.
She's like, they took all the answers.
I also think it's it's just this expectation that there's always more, there's always better,
like the grass is greener.
Right. You're thinking that, and I guess that also goes into self-sabotage. You're always thinking that there's better than what you have. So let me stay with him as long as I can until I think I see what's better, and then I'll leave him for that, and it ends up being rotten apples in a basket.
Yeah.
So I think that just ties right back into self-sabotage. Like at some point you have to recognize what it is that you have, and it's either you're going to accept that for what it is, or you're going to just maybe be alone for a little while.
Yeah. I think selfishness, and I guess a lot can fall into that. And I've also seen, and this is awful, when that person gets sick. So that man, I mean, it could happen to a woman as well. I've seen it, but that man gets sick. He has cancer or whatever, and the woman's like, "I didn't sign up for this. I'm not gonna be here for that."
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's awful. But okay. And you did say about you would want to be with a woman who doesn't have children. Right? Because you want to start your own Wolfpack.
yes.
Okay. Oh, he said that clear, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies, if you have the children, don't come this way. Is that the same for you?
Oh, yeah. Neither one of us have. That's always been a requirement. No children.
Always from
okay.
From
the beginning. No.
So as soon as you could see someone and you're like, yeah, but as soon as he says I have children, you're like, no, thank you.
It's just like,
what? Good for you guys.
It was a responsibility that I didn't want.
Yeah.
Of someone else's children, because then you get into those lines getting crossed of how do we raise them? How do we walk this fine line of you're in my household, but I can't really discipline you.
Right. And then having to deal with the other parent.
Right. Yeah. So for both of us, for my fiance and I, that was always a requirement of no children.
Oh, nice. Okay. So your fiance also had you guys had that same thinking all along. Nice.
Right. So we'll have our, we'll start our family together.
Okay. I have a last question or statement. The patriarchy made rules to protect women. If we lived in a matriarchy, do you think women would make laws to protect men? And what would those laws be, do you think?
I got first.
Who's going first? It ain't gonna be me.
Oh man. I think they would.
I think so too.
I think women would, because naturally nurturers. So I think so. What would those laws be? I think it would have to do with we'll start with mental health, right? We'll start with that. Especially for black men. You know, and I feel like we had this conversation the last time we was last episode time we was on that, and we always had that mindset of we got to keep going. You know, men don't cry. You know, we got to. It's this very hyper masculine, you know, type of energy, and I feel like rules that may help us out, because if you really think about it, like men, we commit suicide way more than women do. And when men do commit suicide, it's in these horrific ways. It's like jumping off buildings. I'm about to jump in front of this train. It'd be like in the craziest ways. So I feel like it would be rules to maybe help that mental state. You know,
instead of like cops have like mental health care workers attend somebody like that first. I think so too.
So for at this moment, that's the only thing that came to my mind.
Okay.
Oh
yeah, you're next. You're next.
So, I mean, it depends on what type of matriarch society we're in. Like, are we talking about a matriarch built with like modern day women, or are we talking?
No.
So
No.
I'm like, wait,
she's
what
getting
type
technical
of,
now.
I'm like,
She's a
wait.
technical fighter.
So I'm just like, so if
Because you know that doesn't count, right? Because there's few of women like you out there, and there's more modern, so it's not fair. So just like do it general. Like, let's say women are the same.
So in this, honestly, I feel like we can go either way with this. Like, I hear what my brother is saying, but in my first answer almost wanted to be no. Because I feel like women protect women first.
Ooh, she took my answer.
Nice.
And I hate to say that's because even when I'm looking at like my set of like my close circle of women, like it's just different. Like when I'm going out to these shows and I see like other groups of women and we converse, you know, so you can kind of get an idea of, you know, where their mind's at. I'm even thinking about just the judicial system and just family court itself. That would be something that I would say if I was, you know, the matriarch of society, like it should be equal for both parents. Like if you're just a behind backwards, you know, bent over parent, you shouldn't have your children.
Right, no matter what sex you are.
Right.
Correct.
Right. So, you know, things like that should be equal. But I honestly, like if I'm thinking of just the society of today, of just like the way you know, these social constructs of just like feminism are pushed out, and it's just like in some cases it's almost like the exact reverse of what we're trying to undo. It's what it's becoming the extreme opposite of. So my first answer honestly was just say no. I don't think so, because our first go ahead would be to protect, you know,
us first,
people that, you know, that look like us, the women.
I'm still gonna say yes. I think that women would do it, and only because, like how Cradle said, we are nurturers, and I think that in our mind we're gonna think of our sons first, you know, instantly, instead of go to an adult man. We're gonna be like, okay, how can I protect my son and make laws to help him out? You know what I mean? And I guess that's because I am a parent. You know what I mean? And that also plays. You know, men, even though a man can have a child, I feel it's different from when a woman has a child. Because I feel like a man can easily see something horrific happen to a child in another country and say, yeah, that's fucked up. But my son is good. Or my daughter's good.
Wow.
Whereas a woman sees something horrific and she cries because she sees her kid in that other kid. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I like your answer too.
So I'm gonna agree with Moon Sky. No, because there's so many reasons. Men are more logical, women are more emotional. So based off the emotion, just naturally, women are just gonna be like, "Yo, we gotta protect the women." Like girl power. Fuck them. They had their time. Jaded, like so much, because we look at where we are today. There's not enough traditional. There's more modern, actually. So modern is like, I say, like evil spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like they're easily influenced. Traditional is like stubborn in their old school values. So the traditional woman is nurturing. The modern woman is not. So the nurturer is going to be thinking, oh, yeah, this and that. We got to protect men. But you're like, look at it like this way, right? You're looking at like 5 traditional women and you're looking at 100 modern women. If women were given this power, there's no way. A lot of more men would commit suicide. A lot more men would commit suicide. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it comes down to like the leader aspect. And when we're looking at logical and emotional, even if a man is upset, he's going to do what's right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's going to be very, very hard if that power was given to women. You know, I don't think that they would look to make it equal. You know, the traditional women, they're rare. They're out here, but it might be one in a city near you. You understand what I'm saying? And those are the women that would be more nurturing. They'd be more in their feelings, where it'd be like, we have to make it fair. The other women would be emotionally toxic because they're jaded. No, we're gonna get back at men because we were hurt by men. Girl power.
See, I totally
and they would
read
end up
this
making the
different.
wrong decision, because if you're a highly emotional person, you can't be logical. You need logic to make good decisions, to be a good leader. So it would be really, really rough. You would have a lot more men committing suicide. Cradle, I got a question for you. Do you have any more, Sue, or that's it?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, I got a question for you, because you said it's a strict rule for you. No children. This is a tough one. You ready?
Yeah.
I've asked a lot of male guests that came on that don't have children. Ready? Okay. This woman has 50 bodies. No kids. This other woman has 2 bodies under her belt. 1 child. Who are you picking? And you can't say neither. You got to pick one.
Stop giving him answers mentally. She's giving him the answers. She's like this. She's like, you better say the right one.
But I don't even know.
I don't know. Okay. I can't judge a woman off her past if she's a changed woman.
Nice.
So if that was her past and she like grew and matured and she's in a different space now, because similar to what you were saying earlier, like maybe that was in her days of adventurous and being funny, then she got older, like, I shouldn't even have done half that stuff I did. So if she's in that headspace, I'm going with
the 50 bodies.
With the 50 bodies.
You know that almost every man that he asks that question
Say
answers that?
Really?
The exact same answer. I'll take the 50 bodies over the woman with the kids.
Yeah.
Is it because of the kid thing?
Yeah.
He wants his own little world.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What if you have the children, but she just cannot be present there in any way?
Say that again?
So you have the child with her, and she just cannot be present there in any way. Because remember, she has 50 bodies. So, like, you got to look at the biology of that. You got to look at the biology of that. Because remember, women give it up. So if she has that many bodies, it's also demons that she's allowing in her energy. It's not easy for you to go cold turkey. An alcoholic is very hard. That's why they send them to AA meetings. It's very hard for them to go cold turkey overnight. So this is like an addiction too, what she's doing. You get married with her, you have a child. What if she's not present there in every way? What if, because she's used to having so much bodies, that also comes with cheating. Because if she was in multiple relationships too, she had backup plans. So now because she has so much bodies, right? Let's just say what it is. She's a hoe. Because she's a hoe, she has these activities that she does. She's so used to this that the moment you are not giving her what she wants, she reverts back to what she knows. Oh shit. No activity. So now, is it still going to be the same because of the kid aspect? So you get with this woman, you're like, okay, you change, stuff of that nature. the child, you get, maybe the child will change her marriage. You get with her and she's good for a month. After that month, she says, I'm bored. Cradle gives me everything. I'm bored. I want to do what the girls are doing online. She's not present in the dynamic. You see? How would that make you feel? It's like a double-edged sword. That's why I always ask this question. It's a double-edged sword.
I mean, well, we all know I wouldn't even be in this position.
Yeah.
But
but let's say you don't travel, right? You want to find your wife in America. Most likely you're going to find her at church. Correct or incorrect? She's going to have to be religious or spiritual, right?
Yeah.
Because she's going to keep herself in check and hold herself accountable because of morals. Either she's religious or spiritual, morals. The woman with the fitty body don't have that. She don't have morals. Maybe she's tricking you. I've changed. I'm not like this. She sees the come up with Cradle. She see it come up. You always hear it all the time happening to basketball players. They get
so many hypotheticals in this one.
He's the king of
They get caught. So she's playing really, really well. But you won't let it get that far. I'm confident in you.
Sis won't let it get that far.
Hey.
Okay, so she gonna vet her. She gonna bring her to her for her to vet her too.
Yeah, even my friends who ask about my brother, I'm like, yeah, nah, you good.
Oh, she is very overprotective.
Yeah,
because
I know some I don't even want to say friends, like acquaintances that I might have toured with or went to shows and like, oh, that's your brother. I'm like, yeah, no, I've seen you operate. Like, nah, he's good.
Yeah, well, nice.
Yeah, no.
That's good though.
So you trust that I'm not trying to start trouble. Let me
No,
start.
I do because I didn't even know.
Oh, that she does that?
But my thing is, again, I trust in my sister that she's gonna keep bad energy away.
Yeah,
You know,
that's awesome.
And vice versa. But I mean, people have too much respect for me. They're not gonna ask me about my sister. So yeah, they're not gonna do that.
She's a married woman.
Yeah.
Amen.
Okay. One last question for you guys before we go. Is it harder to be in a relationship being in this industry?
I'll let you answer that since you are actually in one.
No,
I mean, I don't want to say necessarily harder because I started dating really late. So literally like my fiance is only my second relationship. So to me it wasn't hard. Like I just knew I didn't want anyone in the industry.
Okay. So he's not in the industry.
No.
Okay.
No, he's not. I couldn't I just could not. I'll leave it at that. I could not. But I don't want to say it depends on who you're with. Do they make it hard for you? But I would say maybe some of the difficulties may be just your time. You have to be really cognizant of the time that you invest into your relationship and make sure that's, balanced with do they have goals for themselves? Like what are they doing? Are they staying up and just waiting for you, or do they have they hang out with their friends? Do they have something that they're working on? Like what are their lifetime goals? What does that look like for them? So what are they focused on, so they're not hyper focused on you and what it is that you're doing? You both have these journeys and these goals, and you're just bringing that together for that relationship. So I don't necessarily want to say it was harder. It's just, to me, it's been easier, like to have when he comes to my shows and he's at the studio and stuff, like it's good having like my best friend there. It's like an extra pillar of support for me.
Yeah, that extra energy.
Yeah. And these dudes leave me alone, so I'm good.
There you go.
I mean, it doesn't have to be. I feel like I think it's on us as
the entertainer.
As the entertainer.
Okay.
Because, and I say this, at least for me in particular, I should be able. I mean, maybe I can't expect that of every people, but I have a third eye, so I have a very great sense. If I know that you can't handle the industry that I'm in, I'm not going to take it another step with you. We're not even going to get to that point.
Good for you. That's smart.
So, and if you really watch, and that's why I say it's very important to use your two ears and your two eyes, and sometimes observe and be quiet. you let someone talk enough.
Oh yeah, they'll snitch on themselves.
They'll tell you everything you need to know. So that's why I say for me it's on us, because like I'm inviting this energy, and I was like, you know what, I should have known that she wasn't going to be built for this.
Discernment, yeah.
You know, so I mean, I'm just a person that takes. I don't know. I think it stems from like the basketball. So I'm used to taking accountability for things I had nothing to do with. When you're a point guard, it's always your fault. So at the end of the day, for me, it's like it doesn't have to be. You know, just vet them really well when it comes to it. And again, let them speak, and you'll get your answer.
Nice.
That's what's up. Final thoughts.
Well, I definitely would like Miss Moonsky to let us know where we can hear her music, where we can find her.
Oh yes,
all that good stuff, and down the line.
Yes. Thank you. So you can find me on Instagram at Moonsky Official. You can find me on YouTube there as well. I'm on TikTok as well.
Same
Facebook. Name? TikTok is under the same information on TikTok as well as on Facebook. You'll find me there, and you can find my music on any platform, whether it be, you know, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Evo, anywhere there's music, you'll find Moonsky.
Nice.
Great.
And you guys can follow me at I am Cradle. That's Instagram. That's TikTok as well, so it doesn't get banned. And and Cradle on Facebook as well. We do have our own website, Cradle Entertainment, where you can tap in to not only our musical film, which is also available on YouTube, Apple Music, iTunes, and Tidal. But on our website, you can actually sign up for our emailing list, so you can stay updated not only with new releases, but we actually do have merchandise as well. Cradle Entertainment, you know, Wolfpack.
Nice.
If you want to support there. And yeah, just stay updated on upcoming project shows. You know, we plan on touring this summer as well, so you never know where we'll be at.
When is the Wolfpack movie?
Oh, so the musical film.
That's it. I'm sorry. The musical film. Yes. When is that going to be ready?
It's out right now. It's close to 65,000 views right now. So definitely tap into that. It's on YouTube, Apple Music, iTunes, Tidal, all that stuff. And we also do have we just got the clearance that we will that we will be headlining at SOB's Sunday, April 28th.
Nice.
We will be live with our band, so you definitely do want to pop out. It's going to be Liberation, and it's a part of the Day Summer Festival. Shout out More Bookings and Scott Morris. You definitely want to come. Definitely a show you do not want to miss.
And what of the behind the scenes stuff? Where can people see that? Like the people that are filming you behind the scenes, is that something? I don't know how to what is that?
I mean, if you stay connected with us on Instagram, turn on the notifications.
Okay.
Turn off. You can turn on the notifications also for our YouTube channel as well. That's where you'll be able to see the behind the scenes and everything that we got going on.
Nice. All
right. So I just want to thank you both for being guests on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Great answers.
Good sports.
Good
with the
luck
questions.
with your future endeavors, especially Black. You know, I love to see us rise. So thank you once again.
No, thank you. Thank you for having us.
I hope you guys come back again.
Oh, absolutely.
We're going to spin the block.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to one of the most raw, uncut, unapologetic, intense, real This With Debbie podcast. Peace.